Hey Boss Babe, so when I first started my business, I went 3 years straight grinding it out, no vacations, no downtime, not doing anything nice for myself, and guess what? That is the wrong mindset. That does not lead to success, it actually will lead you to a stroke, alright? So you have to be able to be balanced and take some time to decompress and be able to strategize so your brain and your spirit will work at an optimal level. So I was feeling burnt out, so I hopped on a plane and flew to Mexico so I can work here this week. So what I'm saying is do what you gotta do to take care of yourself.
First of all, for those of you that don't know, I am down here, okay, chilling, all right, on my little workcation. I needed to get some stuff done, and I'll do another stream later and talk about like how to make the most out of your trips and your vacations, especially for those of you that are like me that come from like small towns and small cities, and we just be having to do a lot, okay? We're not like other people that live in big cities where they just have a ton of stuff available to them. So anyway, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'm not a person that likes to speak to people from theory. I speak to people from like what I've actually experienced, what I've actually done, what I actually know that works. And not only does it work for me, it works for lots of other people. And so if we just want to keep it funky, you know, the system in America is set up, y'all, is a big trap. On the cool. The fact that they push you and teach you to go to school and get in huge amounts of debt during school, they train you to not think, they train you to follow, they train you to be a laborer and a consumer, right? Don't y'all think it's odd that here in America that they don't nobody teaches you in America, you know, like financial literacy. They don't teach you proper management. They don't teach you about compounding interest. They don't teach you about cash flow, right? They don't teach you about any of those things here in the States, right? But they do teach you how to get in debt and how to basically not be able to get out of it. So, and they tell you things like work hard, work hard, work hard. You know, all you got to do is work hard and stay positive and your dreams are going to come true. And y'all, I'm just telling y'all, that ain't it, okay? That's cap. It was all cap. And what I said, I still stand by what I said. I'm not changing it, okay? You're not gonna get me to backtrack it. So the reason I understood more about financial literacy, so I went to school and I was pre-med. Everybody was like, you have good ACT scores, you have good SAT scores, you're really, really smart, you should be a doctor. I was like, okay, I'll be a doctor. When you're in college, you know, they give you gen ed classes. So I was going through all my biology classes and doing all my labs and all of that stuff. And in one of my gen ed classes, I had a finance class. And in the finance class, we were learning about how you actually amortize a mortgage and cars and just pretty much any other thing that has a payment schedule. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is dope because everything that I'm learning inside of this finance class right now, I actually can take this and apply this to my real life. So then I took another finance class and I learned more stuff that I could apply to my real life. And then one of our textbooks had this breakdown and it showed the earning rates, right? And the income and the average household wealth. And it had it divided by different backgrounds, right? So they had like Italian Americans, they had Asian Americans, they had African Americans in this book, they had Island Pacificas, they had all kinds of different groups of people in America. And y'all know what was crazy? Every group was increasing in wealth and in their income except for Black Americans. When we got to the 80s, it started to flatline. When we got into 90s, it actually started to depreciate. And if any of you guys read any of the statistics or articles or information right now, they actually tell you that the average household income for Black Americans is predicted to be at zero in about 20 years, which is really alarming, right? So that triggered me to wonder, what does everyone else know that we don't know? What are they all doing that we're not doing? I started to think about how, you know, the average lottery winner is broke within 3 years. How a lot of NFL athletes and NBA players, you know, are perpetually broke once their contract's in. I started to wonder how there could be some white guy that could make $50,000 a year, yet he could pay for his house in full, send his kids to school debt-free, and retire, and float around and travel in an RV. I was like, what do they know that we do not know? So then I took another finance class, right? Because I was really intrigued by this whole concept. And that was what did it for me, that third finance class, when I really started learning about investing and cash flow and kind of the structure and documents and how everything works. And I actually changed my major. Okay. I changed my major from pre-med to finance. Like, that was it. So I'm saying all of this to say, as far as the background, because some people always, newer people to the kingdom, people that have been with me in the kingdom, y'all already know that I actually have a bachelor's degree in finance, and I'm very well versed, in understanding the economy, the markets, and things like that. But I got a lot of new kingdom members. Hey, y'all. Hey, really happy to see you guys. And so anyways, that I'm saying all that to say, I'm not a person that's talking out the side of their head. Like I said, I know some of y'all were really triggered by the post that I put up yesterday when I said it's going to take more than a second job to get you there. It takes way more than hard work and a second job, and nobody really tells you that. And all of us grow up believing this, right? And then you're working and working and working, and you're like, I'm doing everything right, but it's not yielding any of the results that I'm looking for. And so anyway, I'm just saying all to say, I got a background. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I've been studying this stuff for years. I'm also a person who started her first company with $125 and a laptop. Did not grow up with a wealthy family. I'm probably actually the first 7-figure, soon to be 8-figure earner in my family. And if it's in God's will, probably in the next, 10 to 12 years, I'll cross over into the billionaire status. So, and a lot of that did not come from what people think makes you money, right? And my parents worked very, very hard, right? And I remember seeing my dad work 2 and 3 jobs to take care of us and take care of everything. And my mom worked, a full-time gig to take care of us. And my papa went to work every single day to take care of his family. And my grandma worked, and she was a side hustler, and she did moonshine. She sold muscadine wine on the side. She would make it and sold it on the side. So I'm just saying, I grew up on a farm. We had to get up every morning and work. So clearly I know a lot about hard work. And this is why I also know that hard work and prayers and a second job ain't gonna get you there. It just is what it is. And so one of the things that I do here in the kingdom is I teach y'all the truth. I teach y'all how to get financially stable. I teach y'all how to be able to grow and get wealth. And more importantly, I teach you how to be financially stable so you can actually show up in the world and be who you're supposed to be. This is the thing. It's really difficult to live your purpose. It's really difficult to show up as the fullest, person that you can be whenever you have to worry about your basic needs. When you got to worry about how you keeping a roof over your head, when you have to worry about, your piece of crap car that could break down or may not make it on your way, right, to work, when you got to worry about, how you're going to be putting clothes on your kids' back, or stressed out because their feet are growing so fast, right? And now they need 3 or 4 new pair of shoes. Like, you don't really have the time to actually sit and think and develop yourself. It's saying, what's my purpose? What's my passion? What's my vision? What am I really here for? How can I impact people in the most positive way, right? How can I creatively express myself? Like, you don't have time to do that, right? You don't have time to do that. So that's one of the reasons I'm always like, get your money up, get your money up, get your money up, get your money up. I didn't say that prayers don't take you there. I said it takes more than prayers to take you there. And that's another thing that we're going to be talking about in 7 Millionaire Habits that made me a millionaire before I had $1 million. And FYI, I don't know if y'all know this, over 75% of millionaires are self-made. That means we don't come from money. We didn't have investors. We didn't have, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have that stuff that people says, okay? And this is the thing. I love the Lord, okay? Don't try and play me, and don't try and twist my words. Everybody knows every time I start one of my streams, what I tell y'all, I be like, give it up to the big G-O-D, because that's who gave me the gifts of business, beautification, and hospitality. That's who put me in this position to be able to do what I'm doing, right? Every single time. That's what I do. So let's not do that, but let's tell the truth. And I'm gonna keep it 100. And I grew up in the church. How many churches are really talking to people about financial literacy? How many people's churches are really like going into the Bible and looking at the principles that the Bible even teaches you to make money? How many people are pointing out Deuteronomy 8 and 18? And how many people are sitting in church where the church is telling you that if you're a good person, a good man or a good woman's job is to leave an inheritance for their children's children's children? We ain't even really doing that. So don't twist my words when I sit here and say that it takes more than hard work and prayer and a second job to get out here and get these coins, because it does. Because y'all are sitting out here in these streets, you right, twisting God's word because maybe you don't want to get up and work, or you don't want to learn, you don't want the education, you don't want to shift into something, right, that's making you uncomfortable. And so y'all will sit around and just go, well, I prayed about it, so it's magically supposed to fall from the sky, even in the word where it tells you faith without works is dead. It tells you that. If you really pray and you believe God is going to bring you something, you're supposed to act on it and you're supposed to prepare. So, boop, 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 stop yourself with all of that. That's all I'm trying to say. So, yes, I said what I said. It takes more than prayer. It takes more than hard work. And it takes more than a second job so you can get out here and create wealth. So, anyway, now, moving along, what we were talking about, okay? So, like, this, I'm just saying, right? Exactly, Keisha. God gives us the tools. People will sit there and say, I want a chocolate cake. I want a chocolate cake. I'm praying to God for a chocolate cake. God will give you flour. He will give you cocoa powder. He will give you eggs. He will give you baking soda. God will give you butter. God will give you sugar. God will give you a sifter. He will give you a mixing bowl. He will give you a whisk. He will give you the oil. God will give you everything that you need to make that chocolate cake. And you'll sit in the house and still keep praying, talking about, I asked God for a chocolate cake and he didn't send me one, when he put everything around you that you needed to make the chocolate cake. So again, stop playing games with me. Stop playing games with me right now, because y'all out here on some silly stuff, okay? So anyway, back to what I was saying, all right? So next thing, when we get into this whole financial literacy conundrum that a lot of people are in, because the system is set up for you to work for the system, not for you to actually learn and be able to figure out how to get your way out, right? So when we start talking about money, right, let's keep it 100, okay? Because some people like to go, oh, it's materialistic. You know, everybody doesn't want $1 million. Everybody doesn't want to be a billionaire. Everybody doesn't want to, you know, get on a plane or fly private or go to countries. That some people just want more simple stuff. Everybody doesn't want a nice bag or a watch. Child, boo, stop playing with me. The lies you tell, okay? Because what I have is what money gives you access to, which is time freedom. Money is not about your house or your car, right? Money, again, is security. The Lord knows that we live in a world of commerce and transaction, right? Money gives you access to new networks. Money gives you access to different scenes. Money gives your children access to better education. Money gives you access to a better environment and a safer neighborhood where you don't have to worry about what's going to happen to you during the day or at night, or if you're getting robbed or stabbed or killed. Like, let's keep it 100. Money gives me the ability to do what I want to whenever I want to do it. I don't have to worry about what I'm saying or what I'm not saying. Why? Because I'm set up. I was stressed out. I was like, ooh, I need a change of scenery, right? This is not a planned trip for me. I woke up Monday and said, I need to change the scenery. I need some sun and some salt water. I called up my boo. I called my friend. I was like, girl, you want to go to Mexico? She's like, when? I was like, Wednesday. She was like, bet. Let's make it happen. We called early flights into Mexico. The first class flights. Popped down here. Look, and here I am on the beach. Been working down here all weekend. Doing whatever I feel like doing. I'd have scheduled me a whole photo shoot. I'd have had a video shoot. I'd have filmed 2 commercials since I've been down here. Why can I do that? Because I have the fiat. I have the capital to do it, okay? And so when you see somebody with money and they have a nice house or a nice car, or they have jewelry or a purse or something, you may not understand what's going on, but that stuff that they have, that's literally just a physical manifestation of their hard work and time and structure and energy, and them applying these 7 principles that I'm fixing to lay out for y'all right now. That's really what that is. And don't let somebody make you feel bad because you want more or you want different in your life. I talk to so many people on a regular basis that don't move forward with whatever they want to pursue in their life because other people around them, their community, their neighbors, their friends, their family, clown them. I literally saw a girl one time getting clowned for doing a word of the day. Why are people clowning this woman? Because she wants to improve her vocabulary, right? So anyway, now that we got all of that out the way, okay? Because we just keeping it 100. If you want to argue with me, boo, argue with me. Like I said, you're entitled to your own opinion. You're entitled to all your thoughts. But I will tell you this: I don't take financial advice from people who don't have two nickels to scrub together. Blink, blink, blink. I just said what I said. Because clearly, if you knew what was going on, you wouldn't be in the financial situation that you're in right now. And there are tons of people who are able to generate a lot of revenue, but they can't hold on to it because they don't understand these 7 principles, okay? And one thing I need y'all to get out, and we're gonna kind of, you know what? Let me just get into it. Everybody, give me the one. Give me a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Hold on, y'all. Let me grab my drink. It's back here. I need a drink for this. Okay, we need to sip and chit chat. So why would I not have a drink while I'm out at the beach? I mean, why would I not? That doesn't make sense, right? Thank you for all the ones. And by the way, if y'all know somebody that needs this information, go ahead, share, invite, all of that good stuff. Try to make sure I don't flash y'all out here in these streets, okay? I'm out here on my grown womanish, okay? Being all that the Lord created me to be. How about that? You said the drink looked good, the drink is good, okay, with a big T. All right, so number 1, you got to change your circle. So I had to catch myself because I was about to run off into the 7 before I set it up properly. Number 1 is you have to change your circle. And y'all keep in mind, 75% of millionaires are over 75%. I think when they did the last survey, it was like 10 or 15,000 people. And actually 79% of those people were self-made. And they were average, everyday people. Average, everyday people, okay? So you got to surround yourself with the right people. And what I mean by right people, I mean people who have a mindset of success and people who are actively pursuing their goals. You need to surround yourself with people who are kind and who are supportive and who are considerate. You need to surround yourself with people who are focused on legacy, right? You got to surround yourself with people who have different ideas than you, okay? You guys don't have to agree about everything. It's good, it's healthy for people to have different ideas and different opinions, but y'all should be able to communicate them to each other in a non-derogatory or non-hurtful way, if that makes sense. You shouldn't be, getting to the point where you're cussing each other out or telling each other that they're stupid or they're idiots because they don't believe what you believe or think what you believe, think what you think, or see what you see. A lot of the times, my friends, it's lots of stuff that we don't agree on. A lot. There's a lot of things we agree on, but it's a lot of stuff that we don't agree on. But we're all able to still sit down and have conversation and thought and, share with each other without putting anybody down or making anybody feel crazy. And so I'm saying all of this to say that if you're in an environment, because I was in an environment, I was always the odd man out in my family. I definitely was. And my cousins, I was the odd man out. When I say they made fun of everything about me, they made fun of the way that I ate. They made fun of the way that I spoke. They made fun of the way that I dressed. They made fun of the way that I wore my hair. My whole life, you're so extra. It don't take all that. Well, Ashley's always been like that, blah, 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 blah. But I'm out here with extra coins, okay? I'm out here with extra properties. I'm out here, with extra wealth. I'm out here with an extra big audience. I'm out extra, baby. Thank the Lord that everything is extra, okay? And honestly, most of the people that I have talked to that are really successful, like literally, I hear almost the same exact story verbatim from all of them. Like for whatever reason, there's something in our brain that doesn't click to put us in status quo mode. You know what I'm saying? We're able to kind of see beyond that and see past that and move to the little beat of our own drum, okay? So you got to start working on changing your circle. And it doesn't have to be a big circle. You don't need 5 million people in your circle, okay? Now, this is the secret to this. Once you start taking steps to move in the right direction towards whatever you want the vision for your life to be, that is when these other people are going to start to appear. Okay? Easy ways that you can meet other people in your new circle. You can join a mastermind. You would be amazed what you can do in a mastermind. Okay? You can meet other friends on the internet. I have all kinds of friends that like we're really, really good friends who like best of friends like this. We met on the internet. We literally met on the internet because we were going to the same type of live streams. We were going to the same types of groups. We were interested in the same type of conferences. We liked the same type of topics, right? Those sorts of types of things, okay? The next thing as far as a place where you can meet new people outside of your masterminds, you can join like actual chambers of commerce, and you're going to meet lots of other business owners and small and side hustlers and entrepreneurs there. You're going to also meet a lot of people that are in like political positions inside of your cities and inside of your states, okay? Also, another place where you can meet other people. Believe it or not, there's this little website that's called Meetup. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been on meetup.com, but you literally can pop on meetup.com, and they have meetups for when I say they have meetups for everything, they have meetups for everything that you can think of, okay? So there's no reason that you can't meet who you want to meet. There's no reason. I'm your friend in your head. Hey, boo. Hey, friend. Right? But there's no reason out here in these streets to where you can't meet somebody. You can meet whoever you want to meet. You can shift to whoever you want to shift. Also, we're looking for people. I'm not saying that they have to be like poly positive, but you don't need to be around people that are like always down, always a wet blanket, okay? You can't keep that energy all the time, 24 hours, right, a day, and think, hey, I'm going to get better. Everything's going to go up. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to start creating positive opportunities, and everything is doom and gloom and dreary, and there's no hope and there's no opportunity, and nothing is going to change in your life. If you really believe those things and there are people around you that are speaking that every day, I would highly encourage you to try and shift and maybe even limit your conversations with those people, because at the end of the day, it's literally going to drag you down, okay? In the long run, it's gonna drag you down big time if that's all you're hearing all day, every day, okay? So one of the things that I really want y'all to focus on is trying to find someone or somebody or maybe like a little group. And again, it doesn't have to be unrealistic, poly positive. No one can ever give you, any feedback or critique. That's not what I'm saying. But you definitely want to hear some good news sometimes, right? You definitely want to hear people talking about what they've accomplished. You definitely want to hear people sometimes saying, I had a win. Somebody called me. This is unexpected. Someone reached out to me. Oh my God, I'm excited about what I'm going to be doing next week. Or this is what I'm putting my efforts towards. Or this is what my vision is. Friend, what's your vision? You know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can help each other get to this or that. Like, you definitely want to make sure that you have that in your life, okay? And I'm not saying that hardships aren't going to come. Hardships absolutely positively come. They come to everybody. All of us have to go through things. Fantastic. Thank you for checking. Yes, right? So that's that, okay? Number 2, you're not gonna like this, but this is the truth. You gotta learn to live below your means, at least until you have a foundational account set up, or a foundational fund is what we'll call it. Now, y'all know I'm big on words. I'm big on what we speak over our life, and it's really funny because Ash Cash believes the same thing too. We don't like calling it an emergency fund. The reason we don't like calling it an emergency fund is because it's like you're speaking an emergency over your life, right? You're just sitting here waiting for an emergency. So I like calling it more like a foundational fund, okay? And you need to be in the practice of living below your means, at least until you have the foundational fund set up. And we also have another stream of income coming in. And I'm going to talk some more about income and revenue, okay? I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But you have to have those two. And then maybe we can start balling out. But if I'm keeping it 100, once you get in the habit of living like that, you will always live, underneath your means. So your foundational fund needs to be at least a year of income saved up. And this has to be liquid. Okay? This has to be liquid. This cannot be I gotta move my money around and it's gonna take 3 weeks for it to get to me. Okay, this doesn't need to be I gotta go sell a couple handbags and I gotta sell a couple of watches to be able to get this. Even though there's nothing wrong with handbags and watches and raw stones and land and stuff like that are inflationary hedge goods and appreciate, you absolutely positively should have that. Okay, oh, y'all can hear in the back. Hold on, look, I'm a scooch, okay, because I need to make sure that y'all can get this. We both out here getting it on the beach, okay. Hold on, y'all. I got y'all because I need to make sure that y'all can hear what we can hear. Ugh. I got a whole little cabana section back here because I'm balling. I just said it. Yes, it's true. I'm balling. So I got a whole cabana section, whole thing, whole back section. Hold on. Actually, I'd rather sit over here underneath this palm tree. So I got like three big day beds in my section. And we got our little umbrellas and everything else. Friend, pass me a towel. Yeah. Boom, I got y'all. Because I need to make sure y'all hear this. Thank you. Hold on, you guys. Let me get over here. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. All right. Is that better? Is that better for everybody? Okay, now, like I was talking about this foundational fund, okay? Much better? Okay, cool beans. So, I don't believe in calling it an emergency fund because literally it's like you're speaking doom, you know what I'm saying, into your life. You're basically like, hey, it's an emergency fund. Clearly, I'm expecting an emergency to happen, okay? That's not what we want. Now, a foundational fund, right? Everybody wants a strong foundation. Everybody wants something that you can build on. We all know if you have a strong foundation, it's so much easier to build whatever it is that you're working on. So your foundational fund literally needs to be a year of your income. Not this 6-month bull crap that people be talking about, okay? And you really need to sit down and think about what it takes for you to live for a year. I'm not talking about just paying your rent or your mortgage. You need to think about your rent, your mortgage, or whichever you have, your car. You need to think about entertainment. How much do you spend going to the movies, going out to eat, right? This is like quality of life type stuff. If you get massages, if you like to meditate, if you go to the spa, how much money do you spend every month on clothes or shoes or things like that, right? I need y'all to think about all of those sorts of types of things, okay? And that's what we need to set up for a year. What do you put into your stocks? What do you put into your savings? All of that is a part of this, okay? So once you get that, okay, all of that is a big part of this out here in these streets. So once you got your year of your foundational fund set up, oh no, can you pass me that drink, please? Gracias. Okay. Anyway, so once you got your foundational fund set up, right, you need to be living underneath your means. And this is the thing that's going to be crazy. When you're living below your means like this, it's going to become a habit for you, right? It's going to become just a way of life for you. When I say it's a habit for me, it's a way of life for me. I don't think twice about it. I don't think twice about it. People were shocked when I told them that I did a tide match for myself, and that, another 20% of my income goes into like either policies or investments or crypto or something like that. They were like, oh my God, that's 35% of your income that you're not seeing. I see it. I just see it in a different way than you, but I see it. But it doesn't hurt me because I've gotten so accustomed to being able to not putting myself in the trap of spending every dollar that I have, and now it's like you're on a little hamster wheel and you can't catch up, right? And so myself and several other millionaires, we've learned to live beyond our means. What happens is a lot of y'all will get a raise or a promotion, or you get a new job, or you get new income, and immediately you start spending to match that, right? But you don't realize you kind of already were in a deficit. And so you definitely need to build your foundational fund up first, right? And you need to have an actual investment schedule to be set up so that way you know what to do with your money. Also, making sure that you create an additional income stream. And so when I talk about a different income stream, I'm talking about something that's going to make your dollars work for you, something that's actually going to help you make money. So one of the easiest income streams that you can create, not a second job. So am I a millionaire? Damn right. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, boo. I only talk about what I know. Am I a millionaire? Absolutely. Y'all better let her know. Well, y'all know I love a good hater because I like an opportunity to flex, right? Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Hey, real life. And if you don't believe me, boo, you can go through my highlights, okay? You can go through my highlights. You can go down my timeline. I post receipts all the time, okay? I put the inside of my Stripe accounts, PayPal accounts, the inside of my SAM card accounts up. And I don't have to do any of that, but I do understand that we live in the world of the scammer, okay? And I also understand the importance of validation. So yes, ma'am, okay? I do M's in a month, okay? Blink, 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 get into it. So, so anyway, okay? And just for those of you that don't know, 146 of my clients have already done $1 million in under a year. I have 8 or the 10, I think it's probably going to be about 9 that are going to hit the $1 million status like literally this year. So I'm really excited about that. Now, let's talk about this income stream versus a job. So a lot of times when people say, I need more income, what do? What have we seen our parents do, our aunts, our uncles? What did we see our grandparents do? You go out and you get a second job, or you get a side hustle, right? So if we grow up thinking that is the answer, and that's not the answer, okay? It's not the answer at all. Now, if you get this second job and you use the income from the second job, hey, Natalie said, been here since 2008. Come on, Natalie. She said she's real. I saw her glow and grow. Little Rock, Arkansas, stand up. Thank you, boo. Thank you. Okay? So, now if you work the second job and you take all your income from the second job, and maybe you decide that you're going to get you crypto, or you're going to start getting into stocks, or maybe you're going to buy some REITs, or maybe you're going to get into index funds, right, for long-term holding. Maybe you decide that you're going to invest in real estate projects. You're not actually going to flip, but you're going to be an investor for a flipper so you can get the return, right? There are all kinds of ways that you actually can get this money up. Maybe you're going to get into the market of inflationary hedge goods, so like watches, high-end purses, different lots of land, stuff like that, and you're purchasing and holding or purchasing and selling. Then yeah, if you're doing that, then of course that secondary job is going to provide income for you because you were smart enough to make the money from that secondary job work for you. But that's not what most people do. Most people get a second job and you're using your second job literally to help you make ends meet. Are we telling the truth, or am I lying or not? Am I lying or not? That's what most people do. You get a second job because you're saving up for a vacation, or you're saving up for an item, or you're working to get a house, or you get a second job because you need to help make ends meet where you are, right? That sort of type of thing. And so that's why it's a mistake, okay, for a lot of people. So we got to make sure that we're shifting that into income. Now, there's a big difference in between income and a job, because when your dollars work for you, you don't have to do anything. My money is working for me right now, and I'm on the beach. I've been making money all day. Ain't been in nobody's boardroom. Ain't punched nobody's clock. I haven't done any heavy labor today, right? I haven't done anything operational. I'm literally out here on the beach, as you guys see, right? I'm still out here on the beach, kicking it, talking to y'all right now. And I'm making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars today, right? Because I figured out how to make my money work for me. Now, my favorite way out of everything that we're doing is insurance. And a lot of people don't understand the power of insurance, especially inside of our community. So what turned me on to insurance is, y'all know my first company and how I made my first milli is my event design and production company, right? And so that's how I made my first milli, is from doing events. And I still do events to this day. But I would notice when my black clients would come in, it would be like the bride, the groom, both sets of parents, maybe even an aunt and a grandparent that would be pitching in to pay for this wedding or this event for my clients. Like, all of them would be pitching in to have this event, and the budget would still be under, you know what I'm saying, like what some of my white clients were having. Now, my white clients, and before somebody gets mad, they're like, why is she talking about white and black? Because these are the numbers, okay? These are just the numbers. Do y'all know this, that with white-owned businesses compared to black-owned businesses, that white-owned businesses earn an average of $2.13 million a year compared to black-owned businesses, which only own $915,000 per year? And that's on the revenue side, not on the profit side. And y'all should just go for fun, go and look up the average household incomes and the net worth inside of your neighborhoods and inside of large cities, and see where most of the wealth is held, and how many white American families hit $1 million status compared to black American families, okay? So this is just what it is, and this is what I experienced, okay? So anyway, the white clients would come in for me to do their events, and they would always have budgets that were literally 2 to 4 times larger than what my black clients had. And it wasn't the kids and the parents and an aunt and a grandma or something paying for the wedding. It would just be like the dad, or it may have been like the 2 sets of parents going half for these events, okay? And literally, like 50% of them that would pay me, they would pay me with checks from the insurance companies. So I would say, this is the budget, this is the deposit, this is the cost of your wedding or your event. And they would say, okay, give me 3 days, or give me, 6 days or whatever, and I'll be back in and I will pay this $100,000 bill or $60,000 bill or $70,000 bill or whatever it was. And they would come in with these checks from the insurance company. And I was like, what is going on, and why are all of them getting these checks from the insurance company, right? That's what turned me on to insurance policies and basically private banking, and understanding more about the tax benefits and how to move your money around. So whether y'all know it or not, even if y'all decide to start your own businesses, like most of us are formatted as an LLC, which that's a whole nother thing. We're not here to talk about that today. We'll get into that another time. But anyway, your biggest expense is going to be taxes. Your biggest expense is taxes, okay? And so before I started as an event designer and continued to see my clients come and pay with insurance checks for their kids' weddings or big events or graduations or installations and stuff like that, I didn't realize that insurance had living benefits to it. I didn't realize that you could, couple whole life policies with different things and be able to get dividends. I didn't realize that you literally, could put like $150 or $200 up a month for your kid when they were born, and by the time they got like 21 or 22, they would be millionaires. I didn't realize that you could take these policies and use them as a way to privatize your insurance until then, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all this. Even though we're currently in America, like we're in a depression right now, economically, whether y'all know it or not, we're in a depression. Some of y'all haven't noticed it or don't feel it because they keep printing all this money and cutting these stimulus checks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, even in a depression, even in recessions, the insurance policies still pay out. I still get dividends. And I still literally can put my money into the insurance plan and then borrow against my plan to get a loan for my business, purchase a home or a car, pay for my vacation, pay for a kid's wedding, or whatever you're going to do. Now, whether y'all know this or not, and I may be getting a little bit too deep into the information right now, but your loans are not taxed. You don't pay taxes on a loan because loans have interest that you pay back. But if you're doing it from your policy, your interest rate is going to be super duper low, and you borrow from yourself because you borrow from your policy. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And let's say you don't have the money or you don't want to pay the principal for a few months. As long as you pay the interest, it stays current. That's right, Mrs. West. Now you're the bank. Okay? Now you're the bank. Steve LeBroy does a lot of policies for me and for my clients. I call him Uncle Steve. If y'all want to hit him up to get some policies started, I would definitely recommend it. So I feel like once you get your foundational fund set up, and remember it needs to be a year's worth of income in there, and you now have some other income stream, whether you choose it to be crypto, and crypto definitely is a move, whether you want it to be stocks, whether you want it to be insurance. I feel like insurance is quicker and easier and less riskier to flip than like anything, and that's because I always advocate for people starting there. Then once you get into your stocks and you get into like your long-term investment, and you may, I was finna say something, I'm not finna tell y'all that, like, that's later. That's for my high-end clients, they know what's up. But anyway, this is how you put yourself in the position, okay, to build wealth for yourself and generational wealth, because you also can transfer those policies, and people don't know that. So you literally can put this money in the policy, utilize it, work on it, and you can transfer the policy, right? And when you die, guess what? Your family is going to get paid the death benefit of that policy as well. Pick up what I'm putting down, okay? Pick up what I'm putting down right now. So number one is changing your circle. And part of the reason, like, look at the conversation that we're having right now. This is why you have to change your circle. Yes, Jake is amazing. Believe it or not, Jake is one of my clients. Jake and Brother Ben X are my clients. So yeah, Jake is amazing. I would definitely recommend anybody to Jake as well. For sure. Jake is awesome. He and I have had several conversations about private banking and all of that good stuff. But yeah, Jake is awesome. For sure. Okay? So anyway, number one, change your circle, because look at the conversation that we're having right now. Now, I'm not trying to poo-poo on anybody or anything like that. When you're having conversations with your friends or with your biz besties or your associates, are y'all having these types of conversations like this? If you're not ever having any types of conversations like this, that's an indication you may need to shift your circle, right? Are you guys having conversations on how to grow and develop and maneuver and build and acquire new things in life, right? If that's something you're not doing, that's an indication you may need to change your circle or add somebody into your circle. So number one, adding somebody to your circle. No, Derek Grace is not my client. I've actually never met Derek before. I've heard good things about him, but I've never met Derek before, ever. Right? You said yes because not everyone wants to have this conversation. They don't want to hear it, exactly. Or they may make fun of you and be like, oh, there she go. There they go with all this kind of stuff. Child, move around, okay? Move all the way around. Move that thing in a circle, okay? And then number two, like I said, you need to live below your means until you get that foundational fund set up, and it needs to be for a year for you to live comfortably. So even if you have to dip into it, you still have a decent quality of life, okay? And we need to set up that extra income stream. And remember, the extra income stream is not necessarily a job, because if a lot of you guys start getting into policies or you start getting into crypto, you'll never have to work a second job, because you will be taking your extra income, right? And you will be using it to make your money. Your dollars will start to work for you, right? So that's that. So number three, okay, number three. I probably spent more time on number two than I wanted to, but I mean, I could tell for some of y'all from the comments that it was like newer information from y'all, okay? You said, I did that, haven't worked for anyone since December 2019. Come on now. 170 pounds lost naturally, getting to it then. And of course, your own business, your own side hustle, those are definitely good income streams. You know, I tell y'all all the time, always be willing to invest in yourself. I invested in myself, right? And I've been able to develop several multi-million-dollar companies now at this point. So anytime you're investing in your own self, or even investing in other businesses that are already thriving so you can get a good return, that's always a good move to make too. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a thumbs up, okay? Now, number 3, set your goals. A millionaire habit for me before I became a millionaire, setting my goals. Like every single day, I have a to-do list of what I want to accomplish. And the biggest thing is, once you set the goal, you want to reverse engineer it, okay? That's what I mean. So like a lot of times we set these big, huge, ostentatious goals, right? And then you're like, well, how am I going to get there? And then you get overwhelmed thinking about the goal, right? You get overwhelmed thinking about it, and then you don't do anything because you got overwhelmed thinking about this goal. So you set the big goal, and then we reverse engineer, which means we break it down into little bite-sized pieces. So you go from the top and you start working backwards. So let's say your goal is to make $100,000 a month. And you haven't even made $100,000 in a year yet, right? Can you get to it? Absolutely, positively. So first thing first, well, how many units, right? Or how many products or how many services do you have to do to be able to get to this $100,000 a month, right? So we're going to break down the units. And then you're going to say, well, how many units am I selling right now every month? Okay? How many units am I selling every week? How many units am I selling every day? Okay, now maybe my first goal should be to double that, right? Well, what am I doing that works really well? How can I increase that, right? How can I do more of that, because this is what's working well for me? Literally is that simple, right? If you're like, I haven't even started, I don't even know what to do, what is the first thing you should do? Maybe I need to look for a book. Maybe I need to look for a person. Maybe I need to look for a group. That's the first thing that I should be doing, right? And that's literally your first step. So your goal or your to-do list for Monday would be call up XYZ LMNOP. Maybe in like 30 minutes. Can you come back in like 30 minutes? Okay. Thank you. I'll be here. Okay, y'all, I'll wrap up. I'm gonna give me a massage. Right? But anyways, you guys, okay? So literally, you just take it and turn it into something really, really tiny. Like really, 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 really tiny. And that's how you make it happen. When I started off and was like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I actually told my pastor when I was 17 that I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I was 28. And he didn't tell me no, but he looked at me and he laughed, because he probably was like, where is this girl at getting the audacity? I was 17 years old. I had no idea how much work it was going to take me to get to that goal. But you better believe God let me see it. You better believe that. Okay, you better believe that. I wasn't out here thinking like, oh, I gotta have all of this figured out. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just started taking my first step. My first step for me was reading a book. Then my next step was I was like, okay, I'm gonna go find millionaires on YouTube and on TV, and I'm gonna watch interviews with them, and I'm gonna listen to their podcasts, and if they have like tips or tricks or books, I'm gonna buy their books. Like literally just take it. When I say take it one step at a time, one step at a time. So whatever your big goal is, start reverse engineering, okay? Start reverse engineering it and working it down little by little by little by little by little by little by little, and then you take your first step, and that should be your goal, okay? Also, when I set my goals for the week, I don't try and do like 20, 30 things in a week. So I have like 3 big kits. I have like 3 big goals, and that's what I focus on for that week. So you need to figure out what your 3 big goals are for this upcoming week, and you write those down. And again, you reverse engineer and break that down, right? And when you hit those 3 goals, literally then go to the 4th goal. It keeps you from being overwhelmed. And so every single day, okay? So literally every single day, now you got your little list of things that you're working on, your little 5-minute tasks, your 10-minute tasks, and you're doing something that's working you towards your overall goal, okay? So that helped me so much, all right? And this works for like your really, really big goals, and this works for something as simple as a goal to get your closet organized. Like literally, that could be one of your goals. Organize my closet, right? What I need to do to organize the closet, I need hangers. I need baskets. I'm gonna have to throw away something. I need tape, and a marker so I can make some labels. Let me go gather my stuff. Like literally, that's how you do it. It's that easy, okay? Number 4, live out of percentages, okay? Live out of percentages and understand your cash flow. These were game changers for me. The reason I like living out of percentages, because as my income increased, my quality of life was able to increase, my investments were able to increase, my savings account was able to increase, my ability, like everything I want to do, from vacation, like, okay, prime example, this was an impromptu trip. I was like, come on, let's get out here and let's do it, right? Back in the day, y'all, I would have had to save for like 6 or 7 months to be able to take this trip and come here. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just telling y'all that so y'all can understand the progression, right? Y'all can understand how I've been able to get better and better and better and better and better and better and better. And things have changed over time. I literally, back in the day, would have had to save for 6 or 7 months to be able to come on this vacation here. I didn't have to do this. I literally just woke up and was like, okay, I want to go. And I paid for it. Part of this has been because I live out of percentages, okay? So literally, my travel and entertainment is out of percentages. My Tides match is out of percentages. I do a big Christmas party every year with like some coins I've saved up in my trick money fund for my family. I literally take 50% of that, and that's how I buy everybody's gifts and I pay for the party. I take the other 50% and I go buy some big stocks, like long-term investment pieces, right? Like literally, whenever we come into percentages, let's say somebody in your family comes to you to borrow some money or they need something from you, you do it out of the percentages and not out of your savings account. You don't do it out of your checking. I don't give anybody anything that I need, because if you shouldn't let people borrow what you can't afford to have back. You know what I'm saying? So literally, if somebody comes to you and they want to borrow something from me, if it's not my trick money fund, I ain't got it. Because I've learned that the hard way. I'm not going to sit here and give you this money and then I'm messed up on what I want to do as far as paying a bill or investing in something. Or I have to sit out of something that I want to do because I let you borrow this money. You said you was going to pay me back next month. And it's 7 months later and I ain't seen my money, but I see you all on Facebook flexing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to get into that, but that's just the truth, okay? So living out of percentages. So as your income goes up, everything else continues to increase, has been a very good model for me, and I would highly recommend that for everybody, okay? The next thing, when it comes to understanding your cash flow, a lot of y'all would be so much more comfortable financially if you understood your cash flow. And so what I mean is, you actually need to look and see, when does your income and cash come every month, and then when are things going out? If you need to call up any of your people that you have obligations to, okay, or creditors or anything like that, ask them, can they change the payment dates on some things if it's a better fit for your cash flow? They definitely will. Okay, when I say they definitely will, they will work with you because they would rather be paid than not paid, okay? So the next thing with your cash flow, once you understand it, you're going to find that you're actually going to have way more excess money because you're not going to have to pay late fees. You're not going to be missing opportunities. And if you can understand your cash flow, you can actually start to pay your bills early. So you're going to be mitigating interest, which is going to help you save money. And also, on top of you mitigating your interest, you can actually pay your stuff down like way faster. Like, a lot of people don't realize that if they did one mortgage payment ahead, instead of it taking 30 years for you to pay off your house, you can pay your house off in 12 to 15 years. If you can get two of them doubled up on it because you understand your cash flow, you can get your house paid off in 5 to 7 years. Okay? But it's hard to do that when you don't understand your cash flow. And so a lot of y'all, what you're doing, you're just kind of paying things as they come along. Your check comes every week or every 2 weeks or once a month, and literally as soon as your check comes, it's already spent, right? If we can shift our cash flow and match what's going out with what's coming in and temper things, all of a sudden you're going to have the additional revenue that you need to put up into making extra income, or put up into your foundational fund, or just have it so you can take a vacation or go out to dinner or whatever it is that you want to do. So understanding your cash flow definitely is going to be a game changer for a lot of y'all. And so literally get a notebook or get an Excel spreadsheet. Okay? Get one. Get an Excel spreadsheet or a notebook or whatever. Literally put a date on it. This is when I get paid. Put the amount of what you get paid in there, okay? Then I want you to write your outgoing expenses, right? The dates that they go out. I also want you to go and look at your actual close dates on your statements, okay? So like, let's say your credit card bill is due on the 8th. Your close date was probably actually like on the 27th or the 29th, okay? If you can start to pay before the close date, you picking up what I'm putting down? One, your credit score is going to go up because you're paying early, but you're starting the process of mitigating the interest. Now, if you can do the minimum payment plus some principal before the close date, you really all the way up. You picking up what I'm putting down? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? This is what I mean by understanding your cash flow. So if we got the due date of when the bill goes out, but then we're going to rewrite the date of the close date, and we see the date that our money is coming in to our accounts, well, now you can set up your budget, right, appropriately. So maybe you just pay like these 3 bills or these 4 expenses at the 8th of the month, and then you pay the other ones on the 15th of the month. But the ones that you're paying on the 15th, you're making sure to pay them before the close dates on the 27th and the 28th and the 29th. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? I'll probably come back and do another individual stream on that, because I know some of y'all are like, what is she talking about with all of these dates? But once you see it written out, I promise you it's going to make so much sense for you. And literally, okay, you said that's how you did it too? Yes. So literally, if you can do that, you will find that your money is going to flow so much better for you, okay? So number 4 is living out of percentages, and then also understanding your close dates, okay? Also, something that people don't talk to you about, if you're paying early like that before your close date, your credit card companies, they're going to increase your credit limits like pretty easily, pretty frequently, okay? It's gonna be pretty easy. It's pretty easy. You're gonna be like, dang. And I want to hear somebody tell me, that is bad. That is not bad. Okay, there's good debt and there's bad debt. That's another conversation. I was telling Nikita B today, I was like, I need to do a broadcast about that, about good debt and bad debt, right? But if we could take other people's money and make money with it, everybody's happy. The other people happy because they just made some money off of their money. You happy because you were able to get some startup capital you didn't have and you made some money. You know what I'm saying? All of that good stuff. Anyway. Number five, let me continue on, okay? Learn from your failures, okay? You don't ever take a loss. I don't care who's clowning you. I don't care who's talking about you. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what they're trying to say about it. I don't care if they're trying to make you feel bad. I don't care if you feel embarrassed. I don't care, okay? I don't care. It is a win. Every loss that I've ever taken has taught me something. And if you can fail or lose, right, and lose quickly, you're going to learn a lot if you're smart enough to look at that situation and assess it and say, this is the misstep I took, or this is how I escalated a situation that maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe I shouldn't have spoken that way, or I shouldn't have been in this place, or I shouldn't have gone over there. Maybe I shouldn't have bought that software. Maybe I shouldn't have put the string or put the series of it together like that. It's fine. Literally, every time you're taking an L, you are learning something that is going to work or something that's not going to work, okay? So you got to make sure that you're not so ashamed and embarrassed about your L's that you're not learning from them. You know, I share my fails with y'all all the time, right? I get on here and I tell y'all this is what worked and this is what didn't work. I tell y'all all the time. It is literally for a reason, because we learn from those things, okay? So you have to make sure that if you're taking an L and it's something that you don't like or that you don't want to do or that was uncomfortable or was an experience that you would rather not repeat, that you sit down and you assess it and you think about what you can do differently in the future to help you get where you want to be. Okay? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Hey, Dr. Carol. Hey, Woman CEO Mindset. So we learn from our failures, and you take whatever it is that you learn and you start to apply it and execute with it so you can get closer, okay, to where you want to be and what your goals are, okay? Number 6, investments are your friend. And more specifically, financial literacy is a must, okay? I don't know anyone who is a millionaire and who has the financial and the time freedom that doesn't have some type of basic knowledge of finances and how they work. And I would take it a step further to say that tax literacy is just as important as financial literacy. Once I understood that the tax code basically rewards us for doing certain things, and that if I work with it instead of against it, I really was able to change the trajectory of how much money I was able to hold on to and how I was able to grow my business and my strategies for how I decide what I'm going to purchase and what I'm not going to purchase. And this is what I mean by this. You see people all over the internet all the time. Oh, your car is a liability. Your house is a liability. That purse is a liability. It's really stupid to buy that. Child, they don't know, okay? First of all, if your business is structured properly, everything that you do is an asset. I make money with everything. That Rolls that I bought, baby, that was a business expense. My 2021 Escalade is a business expense, okay? It helps bring down my actual tax liability, okay? When you see me running around with a Chanel bag or with a Birkin or a Kelly or whatever, and everybody out here in these streets, and they like, oh, that's just extra. Who needs a bag that costs that much? They don't understand that those are inflationary hedge goods, and so are some of the watches and some of the clothing that I buy that's designer. Literally, I can get a Birkin bag, walk out of the store, go flip that bag, and be up $7,000 to $10,000 just like that instantly. Those bags have held their value better than gold over the past 50 years. They actually have appreciated more than gold, but people don't understand that, and that's fine. You don't have to have that discussion with everyone in your life, right? Because I am an influencer and I'm a public figure and I have a certain image I have to maintain, and I do podcasts and interviews and photo shoots and magazines and stuff like that has to be done all the time. Guess what? My whole life is a write-off. I did 2 reels. I did 2-minute commercials while I was down here. Y'all saw a whole video crew with me yesterday while I'm out here. So guess what? I'm out here live streaming from the beach right now. This is a business trip. This is a write-off. You understand what I'm saying? My new home that I'm building, guess what's going to be inside the new home that I'm building? I'm going to be able to host my retreats there. So guess what? I'm going to be able to get deductions and credits off of my new house. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So don't be so quick to just listen to these things that people say them, because the people that are spouting some of this stuff, if I'm keeping it 100, they have no understanding, right? They have a lack of financial literacy. So because they have a lack of financial literacy and they have no understanding of what's going on, they literally are giving you the wrong information. They're not doing it trying to be malicious. They're not doing it trying to be ugly. They literally just don't know, right? And so anyways, what I'm saying is you have to do some research, and you're going to have to do some reading, and you're going to have to ask some questions, and you may have to go to some seminars, and you got to get in the right circles, right? So that you can get to getting your financial literacy. And like a very specific part of your financial literacy is your tax code literacy, right? And figuring out what your facts need to be, because if you can understand the taxes and how they work for you or against you, that will help you figure out literally what you need to invest in. That will help you figure out literally where you need to spend your money. That will literally help you figure out what moves you need to make, how you want to market, how many people you want to hire on your team, what educational events and conferences you're going to, how you're able to schedule everything, because you are literally, right, working in favor. If we can generate money and create jobs and produce income to stimulate the economy, the Fed's like that, and you're going to get a lot of tax breaks and advantages for that. Period. Okay? Period. That it is what it is. So at the end of the day, when you hear people saying stuff like your car is a liability, no. When you see a lot of these people, Instagrammers and YouTubers and famous Facebook people, and you see us rolling around with Bentleys and Roses and Bugattis and Lambos and stuff like that, and people are like, oh, they're just being flashy. No, we're not being flashy. We understand the tax code. Period. We're at a whole nother different level. We on a whole nother different type of talk. We are exchanging total different types of information than other people are that don't understand it. And so the average person is going to try and come down on us or talk shit about us for doing that. But we don't care, because we understand what we need to do and how we need to move forward to be able to continue to secure the path that we're on. Y'all know how much money I make with that car? Every time I hop in and I take a picture or a video in the roads, I get a new client. And I wish I could tell you I was lying. I'm not. Everywhere I go in that thing, when I pop the door open and I drop the top on it, oh, what do you do? How do I learn from you? Let me tell my wife about you. We got this type of business. People, here's the money. What is it that I need to do? Literally, because that car screams success. That car screams. Anybody that sees the rolls, they know. They like, oh, you balling. Anytime I take a picture with it, use my car for a photo shoot, I'm now using it for marketing purposes. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, I just want y'all to like understand it is not an option. And I'm not saying you have to learn everything about finances, but you have to get to the point where you're willing to at least once a week maybe read a book, read an article, listen to some different information, go research some of the terminology in the word so you understand it, and really start to dig out what it is that you want to learn for yourself and what you want to accomplish when it comes to your financial literacy, okay? Like, you have to. This is not an option. I don't know anyone, and I'm not talking about people that generate millions of dollars, because there's a lot of people that generate revenue, but their profit margins are trash. Just because you made $1 million in revenue don't mean you got $1 million $1 bills in your bank account that are liquid, okay, that you can go and grab and cash out. That don't mean that, okay? Does not mean that at all. So understand what I'm saying. People that are real millionaires, that have financial security, that are leaving something to the children and to the children's children and all of that, all of us have a pretty decent understanding of financial literacy, and we have a pretty decent understanding of the tax code and how we need to maneuver, or where our facts need to be, so that we can be in compliance with the tax code. Because the tax code in the United States favors entrepreneurs and it favors investors. Whatever, like it or not, we live in a capitalistic economy, and if you're in one of those two boats, it's going to be favorable for you if you know what you're supposed to be doing, okay? And then finally, number 7, okay? Finally, number 7. You got to be intentional. You got to be intentional. You got to quit coming to the scene like you're scared. You got to quit coming to the scene timid. You got to quit coming to the scene, I don't know, to. What big boss do you know that's out here talking about, I'm trying, I think I can, I might want to? Don't none of us speak like that. We're extremely intentional about our purchases. We're extremely intentional about our moves. We're extremely intentional about our relationships. We're extremely intentional about our friendships. We're extremely intentional about whatever we're plotting and planning on and what we want to do and how we want to grow and how we want to develop it. We're intentional. I set intentions on everything before it comes into my house. As crazy and wackadoo and new age as it may seem to some of y'all. Literally, before items come into my house, you better believe I clear them. You better believe I pray over them. You better believe that I set the intention that that's going to help me or bless me in some way, or it's going to help or bless someone in my family or my household, that is going to be able to change something in a positive way and be able to impact us. You are crazy if you're not doing that. You are insane if you're not intentionally figuring out, how is this going to positively impact me in the future? Even with your relationships. There's not one friend that I have that doesn't bless me in some capacity. Not one. I don't want you in my circle if you can't be a blessing to me, because I work very hard to be a blessing to all of my friends. I work very hard to be a blessing to my family members. I work very hard to be a blessing to my colleagues, or for it to be some type of mutual beneficial relationship. I work so hard for that. So you are out of your mind if you think you're going to come into my life, suck up my time, suck up my energy, use my resources, okay? Be all in my atmosphere, and you're not some type of blessing to me. Right? Like this 100. You and your friends are supposed to be able to pour into one another. You and your friends are supposed to be able to check on each other. You and your friends are supposed to be able to help each other. You and your friends are supposed to be able to motivate each other, push each other. You and your friends are supposed to be able to give each other ideas. You and your friends are supposed to be able to help each other through challenges with your family. You and your friends are supposed to be able to do those things for each other. And sometimes you and your friends may be in the position to build something with one another, to build something together. Facts, okay? That's 100. Ain't no way around it. That's 1 million. That's how it's supposed to go. Yeah, I am. In a moment, I'm live streaming. Give me like 10, 15 minutes. Yes. Okay, thank you. Sorry, y'all. They on me about this massage. I'm finna get to the massage, okay? Did I have a massage yesterday? I did. Am I about to get another one today? Yes, and yes, okay? I was inside yesterday. Today I'm gonna be outside on the beach. That's how it's gonna work. It's happening, okay? Got a massage. Yeah. They do it right there in that cabana. Yes. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, run me down on the beach. I'm here for it. But y'all got to be intentional with your purchases. When you're purchasing something, you don't just buy something to buy it anymore. If you're really in this mindset, everything that you buy, you should be looking at, what return does this give to me? It has to be some type of investment. Does it help you de-stress? Is it helping you center? Does it make you feel good? Is it going to make you money? Is it going to do something for your children or your parents or somebody you love in the future, right? Is me supporting my team or purchasing this for them going to make them better people or stronger, right? Whatever it is, it's got to be something. It's got to be something. So you got to start being intentional. Be intentional with your activities. When I came down here, I had the intention of being able to decompress, clear my mind, and being able to properly strategize, because I felt so overwhelmed. I have a lot of people pulling at me. I have a lot of opportunities right now, and I know y'all are like, what? You're overwhelmed with opportunity? Yes. I prayed for God to eat, and he filled up my plate. He filled up my plate 2 or 3 times. I am overwhelmed with opportunity, and I want to make sure I make the right decisions, and I take on the proper ones, and I do things that are literally going to be able to help me build my business, right? I want to make sure that I'm moving in a way that is not only, because this is the thing y'all don't understand, I got a whole team. So if I move wrong, it affects my whole team. If I ain't getting paid, ain't none of them getting paid, right? And they doing whatever they doing with their money. Y'all don't even realize in the kingdom, if I make the wrong move and stuff ain't moving right, all these cash giveaways I be doing, all these groceries and $50,000 I'm giving to the kingdom for Christmas, and $10,000 scholarships and buying laptops for y'all, how I'm gonna do it? I'm gonna do it with what? Where's it gonna come from? It's not gonna happen anymore, right? So literally, you have to, okay? You have to set the intention. So my intention was coming here. Yeah, I got some work I need to do. Hey, I need to get some new content done for these mugs and for the reels and stuff like that, and some awareness ads. Well, god dang it, I need to go to Mexico. I need to clear my mind. I need to get a tan. Clearly, y'all see, okay, your girl is tan. The sun is real out here, okay? Much stronger sun than we get in the States, okay? Hey, give me a tan, give me some salt water, okay? Wiggle my toes out here and stuff. All that good stuff. So I can be able to think. I can be able to re-strategize. I can be able to put together the new schedule. I know how to move the pieces on my puzzle, right, on my board. I know what to do and what not to do with different people on my team, and I know how I'm moving forward with things in my personal life. But when you're bogged down and you're overwhelmed and you're stressed out and you can't think and you don't know if you're moving forward or moving backward, or like my friend Nikita B says, cyclical thinking, and that is really a real thing. A lot of people think in circles and you just going and going and going and going, and then you just wore yourself out. It ain't did nothing. You still in the same spot because you run around in the same goddamn circle because you set no intention. So whatever it is that you do, set your intentions, okay, with it. Set your intentions with it and what it's doing and what it's not doing, okay? So y'all, those are 7 millionaire habits that made me a millionaire. And again, keep this in your mind. It's not impossible for you to do. Over 75% of millionaires are self-made, and we are regular people. Y'all don't see, I'm not on TV, not on the movie screen. No big celebrity person has endorsed me. I'm not sitting on the stage with a Michelle Obama, at least not yet. That's coming one day, honey. Miss Michelle Obama is going to know me, and I'm going to know her. I love Michelle Obama, right? I have never been on Oprah, you know, none of those things. And I was still able to pull this off. The country girl from Scott, Arkansas, okay? Number one, change your circle. You got to surround yourself with the right people that have a mindset of success, people that have a spirit of excellence, and people that have a spirit of support. That's very, very important. You do not want to be in a circle with people that compete with you and become jealous of you. That's not what you need in your life. You need people that are genuinely loving, supportive people, and you need to be that to those people as well, okay? Number two, you want to make sure that you're living below your means, okay? And you establish a foundational fund and your additional income stream before we start spending into other things, okay? Number three, you want to set your goals and work towards them. Reverse engineer them and take the small steps. And so you will accomplish a lot. And remember, I told you my little trick, I only set 3 big goals for a week, and I work on those 3 goals, okay? Number four, you want to live out of percentages and understand your cash flow instead of amounts. That's a big game changer, I'm telling y'all. Number five, learn from your losses, okay? Damon John actually said this last weekend. He was like, he failed fast, and he likes to fail fast so he can learn. So learn from your losses. As long as you're learning from it, you're getting closer to doing what you got to be able to do, okay? Number 6, investments are your friends. Get into this financial literacy game, and more specifically, start trying to learn about taxes and how they affect you, so you know what you need to do for yourself and for your family, okay? And then number 7, you be intentional about your time and your purchases and your activities and behaviors and all of that good stuff, okay? Those are the 7 millionaire habits that made me a millionaire, okay? I'm going to do Q&A until he come back over here to get me for my massage. I told him 15 minutes. Him and the other little ladies down at the end of the beach. So we'll do Q&A until they pop back over here, okay? So let's see what's in the question queue. That's weird. Do I recommend for financial literacy? It's a lot of people. Taryn's World is really, really good. That finance chick, I love Antigua. L.A. Varner, Derek Hopper Sr., Jake Taylor, he does a lot of financial literacy. It's a bunch of amazing people that talk about financial literacy, for sure, for sure. Hi. Can you explain what an investment schedule is? Thanks. Sure. So an investment schedule is literally, or it may be called a reinvestment schedule. So my investment schedule is me looking at my cash flow every single month and deciding what percentage of my money I actually put into like my stock markets or crypto or like where it's going, right? And then as that money starts to make earnings, like you figure out what you divide that up into percentages and decide what you're going to reinvest into it. When it comes to my business, it's based on my milestones and my goals and my benchmarks. And as I hit certain milestones and goals, then I literally will say, okay, I hit this goal, so now I can take, $10,000 and put it into this type of policy for my nephew. Or now I can put this into like a money market for him if he needs quick cash or something like that. Or now I can buy these new computers, or I can give everyone on my team raises, or we can pay, for these different courses and classes, those sorts of types of things. And so it's actually, you write it down and list it out. And it's a little guide for you to follow. Let's see. Thank you for this live. Which of your programs do you recommend for a brand new part-time real estate agent? Instacoin Academy is my flagship program. It's my number one. It pushes out the most 6- and 7-figure earners for me out of any other courses that I have. Next after that would be Continuous Coins. Normally people go through Instacoin with me, and then they go from Instacoin into Continuous Coins. And you have to DM me the word Instacoin because you won't find it on my website. I only open it up periodically, but if you DM me the word Instacoin, I get you a link so you can join. Let's see. I'm in the mini mentorship. What do you suggest for a person with a DBA who hasn't made any earnings because of mindset and a lack of marketing? Work on your mindset. That's number one. Number two, build out a marketing plan for yourself. And it needs to be daily activities on your marketing plan. Don't do some big, huge, over-the-top thing. Just do daily activities for your marketing plan and follow your daily activities. And train yourself on trying to be consistent. Okay? Oh, thanks, Mama CEO Mindset. Just wanted to say, appreciate you. I appreciate you back, boo. How do you deal with loneliness that comes with expanding? I'm doing good, but people have become distant. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to give you a short answer, but I feel like we need to come back and have a whole entire chat about that. So when you start to elevate, it is going to make some people uncomfortable. And that honestly is because when they look at you, and they're not going to admit this because they don't realize this what's going on, but when they look at you and see that they had the same opportunity or y'all came from the same place and they have not done what you've done, sometimes it's like a smack in the face to them. And it makes them uncomfortable, it makes them angry, right? And then you'll have a few people, though, they're going to be inspired by what you're doing and they'll run the race with you. Whenever it comes to being lonely, I would say focus on your purpose. And then also, I would definitely tell you, I know some of y'all not going to like this answer. I think you need to pray and then maybe even consider getting a therapist. Dr. Kia and Carol and Monica with the Relationship Boosters are fantastic. Honor Your Path is really, really good. And Dr. Frantonia Pollins is really, really good as well. Can I have some more ice? Yes, thank you. So, anyways, they're really, really fantastic. Just go look at some of they all have content up. Go and look at some of their stuff and see who you vibe with, because this is why I'm telling you this. When loneliness is coming, it doesn't matter how successful you are, it's still there. Loneliness will have you in a room with 100 people and you will still feel alone and not understood. So you feeling lonely, believe it or not, is a deeper issue, and probably when all of those people were around you, they were masking it, right? I spend a lot of time alone and I'm never lonely. I actually enjoy being alone. Sometimes I go on whole vacations by myself, girl. I be beach hopping for a month and a half, just entertaining myself, having a really good time, right? But I do feel like I'm a whole person. Not that I'm a perfect person, but I'm whole. But I had to do a lot of work on myself. Part of the reason when I was married and back in the day that I would stay in just trash relationships was because of that desire of, I felt like I needed to have somebody else around, right? It also led me to have very toxic and negative friendships. It made me be a people pleaser. It made me be with people when I shouldn't have been with them, when I should have, got on out of there, because I had that loneliness that was there. But once I really became who I am and learned more about me and got comfortable with my purpose and my passion once I really, got in and focused on myself and developing myself, the loneliness went away. The loneliness went away, and I had no problem doing whatever it is that I needed to do. So that's why I would tell you, definitely pray, but go see if you can find a life coach or a therapist that you like, and so that way y'all can really dive deeper into that and figure out what that issue is or where that is coming from, so that way you can handle that. Because this is why you have people who obtain huge amounts of wealth and they'll still go commit suicide, right? And they'll say, I feel alone, I feel misunderstood, nobody wants me, people just want me around for what I can do for them, not because of who I really am. And so that's the type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, that we want to be able to get figured out. And you're saying you keep everything in, but that's not healthy for anybody. And you're keeping everything in because that means there's nobody around you that you trust, and that's a whole problem too. Everybody needs somebody, right? Everybody needs somebody. And once I really started working on myself and shifting a lot of things and being very intentional, I was able to attract the good type of friends that I have in my life now as well. So that's what I would tell you to do, right? That's what I would tell you to do, because being alone and lonely are two totally different things. And if I'm being honest with you, I haven't felt lonely in like years. You know what I'm saying? Like years. But I remember when I felt lonely, and it was a terrible feeling to feel, and it was a terrible place to be in. And it really came from me not really being in touch with like who I am in my core, and looking for external things to like kind of validate and feel different places. So I think doing some work with that will help. And you should have everybody needs somebody. You ain't got to be a lot of people, but everybody needs somebody. And there should definitely be somebody in your life that you should feel comfortable enough to be able to speak with. Like for sure. So that's what I would tell you to do. But Dr. Frantonia, Relationship Boosters, and Honor Your Path, those are the women that I trust. They're very, very good at what they do. They're they're amazing. Just go check them out, see which ones you like, and enlist the help of one of them. I think that'll help too. Oh, thank you, Boss Hair Lab and Rabia. Thank you. Uncle Steve's info, Steve Labroy, STEVE LABROI. Go look him up on Facebook. He spends more time over there. He's an older cat. Older cats like Facebook. People taking kindness for weakness. How do you set boundaries without the guilt? One, you should never feel guilty about protecting yourself, and you should never feel guilty about not letting someone take advantage of you. The way I don't feel guilty is I look at the true intentions of the person, right? So it's more like basically somebody is mad at me because I won't let them use me. F out of here. Okay? Not now, but right now. Go have several seats. Go have several seats. Labroy. Lima, Alpha, Bell, Rainbow, Oxygen Igloo, or Orange Igloo. LABROI. Y'all know I got an accent. But as far as people taking your kindness for weakness, you are the problem, my friend. You the problem, boo. People literally only treat you how you let them treat you. So if you set forth a firm, and you don't have to be rude, you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be aggressive by it. You can just say, hey, I don't like that, or this makes me comfortable, or you can shift your action and your energy, and people will be able to see it and know it. You don't understand too. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody anything, okay? So if somebody doesn't want to respect your boundaries that you have set forth, or, are putting you in a position where you're not allowed to protect yourself and make yourself be comfortable, I would really recommend, shifting the amount of time that you're spending with those people. But then also you have to sit and ask yourself, well, what am I doing, or what am I putting out that's making people think that this is okay, right? So is it something that you're saying? Is it something that you're doing? Is it some of your actions? Is it when people cross the line the first time, you're not speaking back out to them, so that they know that that's not okay? Are you, kind of smiling a little bit in the back, but not really saying, no, that's not okay? Are you not speaking up when you should be speaking up about things? Like you really got to sit with yourself and say, what am I doing so that I keep ending up in this situation? That's the biggest thing, because I used to have that problem too. You know what I'm saying? And so I learned how to adjust myself. I literally learned how to adjust how I show up in the world and how I show up in specific rooms, and it helped me a lot with that. Let's see. Is there a detailed breakdown for budget creation in the manifestation kit? Yes, there is. And they will be out soon, girls. Soon, soon, soon. I'm so excited. How long did it take for me to grow and scale? It took 3 years for my business to get to the point where my business could actually pay all of my bills and I could live out of it and probably take like 2 decent vacations a year. Around year 5 is when stuff really started manifesting, in a positive way. Around year 5 is, I want to say, is where I was able to retain at least like $400,000 or $500,000 a year. That was somewhere around year 5. And then once I got to year 7 was a big like shift, as far as me bringing on team members and starting the process of duplicating myself, so that I actually could start the process of duplicating myself so I could see better results. So that was that. And then from there, like scaling and scaling, and it's just a matter of getting into different courses, mentorships, different coaches, trainers, stuff like that to help you get up to whatever the next level is. Can I recommend a CPA? Miss Business 101 is a very good CPA. Are you trolling me right now, or is this a real question? I'm going to answer it just for GP. I kind of feel like you're trolling me, though. My ex broke up with me, signed off the lease, but we owe February's rent and he isn't paying his half. What do I do? You should have known he wasn't going to pay when he signed off the lease. Number 2, why did you stay? Why didn't you get out of there if you knew that you couldn't afford that building? Number 3, it's probably time for you to look at your finances and reorganize. Like, that's a fact of life. Sometimes we got to do stuff that we don't want to do. I definitely had to downsize and downgrade and live in a whole apartment. Man, that apartment was so small, it's about the size of a love seat, okay? And I had to stay there for a whole year until I could recoup and rebound and get myself together. A lot of times we have this problem of we want to keep this specific type of lifestyle when you literally could just be a little uncomfortable for like a year or 2 years and come back out swinging and live the life that you want to live. If there's a friend or a family member that you can live with, this might be an opportunity for it. If you can downsize or go move into an apartment or a house that has a lower rent, this is probably a good opportunity for it. You also need to look at your regular expenses and what you're spending money on, and you may need to cut back in some areas and some things so that way you can turn around and get yourself in a better position. If you know that you can't afford that rent and that dude that got up out of there, you need to go to your landlord and tell them, hey, I can't afford the rent because you said February, so you already behind. We almost in April. Rent is typically due at the first of the month. So February, March, April, that means you 3 months behind. If they ain't put you out, they finna put you out soon if they haven't. So you need to go to those people and talk to them and say, hey, this is the situation I'm in. This is what happened. Can I get put on a payment plan so you can do what you need to do and at least try and keep your record clean? That's what I would be doing. Okay? But he ain't gonna pay his half. He signed off the lease, so to absolve himself of any responsibility. Now, that's why I said, is you for real or is you trolling me? And then my next thing I want to know is, you said your ex, but is you still sleeping with this person? Because let me tell y'all something, ladies in here, and I don't care what nobody say. If you don't like me, you better pray about it because you ain't gonna fight me. I'm gonna tell you that, okay? Let's tell the truth. Let me keep it funky. This is your big cousin Ashley giving you some wisdom, okay? If he can't afford to bring you up, he shouldn't be laying you down. Blink, blink, blink. I said what I said, and I meant that. Period. I will never understand this trend of young ladies going out and allowing somebody to take advantage of you giving them all of these amenities, and they're not returning anything to you. It just does not make sense. It does not. If you're in a relationship, okay, and we out here doing grown folks things, okay, and you know what the old people say, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. Period. as the young people say, period poo. Okay, I don't even like that period poo. You picking up what I'm putting down? At the end of the day, why would you be out here with a man that doesn't have the capabilities to house you, clothe you, feed you, sustain you, support you, be an asset to you, grow with you, develop with you? Where they do that at? Because I'm not finna be shaking my tail feather, dipping it low and spreading it wide for nobody that can't do those basic things for me. I'm not doing it. Ladies, have some standards about yourself, okay? That's all I'm saying. And I know somebody mad at me, somebody don't like what I'm saying. That's fine. Boo, live your life the way you live your life, and I'm gonna live mine the way I live mine. I'm telling you what though, I've never, ever, ever in my life dealt with a man that wasn't financially stable. Even in high school, my little boyfriend had 2 jobs and would buy me little gifts and take me to the movies. Even in high school, I don't understand this. So I would hope, you know what I'm saying. And then my next question to you: why you didn't have a stash? Every woman's supposed to have a stash. What is your mama's teaching y'all out here? Look, if ain't nobody never told you, you supposed to have a stash. Period. Anything could happen, and you supposed to be able to take care of yourself, and you supposed to have that stash. And if you married to somebody and some crap pop off, guess what? He gonna be happy you had that stash. If you gotta dip into the stash to go and get something to make it happen. If I dip into mine, though, I'm not saying I'm going into my stash. I'm going to say I call my mom and dad and borrow some money from them. Because he don't even know I got a stash. You picking up what I'm putting down? Stop playing with me. But that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, y'all, I'm finna get off of this, okay? Because, yeah, you know, I'm out here with this. I spend enough time with you all. I love you guys. Thank y'all for spending time with me today, okay? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you at on the planet Earth. Thank you so much, okay, for coming to hang out with me. If it's morning time or daytime where you are, have a productive and a prosperous day. If it's evening time, get yourself a good night's rest, okay? Make sure y'all click the link in the bio. Go get bundle 1 and bundle number 2 if this information helped y'all. If y'all enjoyed the stream today, bundle 1 and bundle 2 are stimulate your business, okay? Bundle 1 is for starting and for online sales. Bundle number 2 is going to get you popping for like setting your pricing and getting people to pay your pricing strategies and all of that good stuff. That's how that works, okay? Bye, everybody.